So, okay. So, EC2, 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 and this is EL. So remember, I said whenever we create a load balancer, I told you that the DNS name will be created, URL will be generated. This URL will be given by whom? AWS, correct? You know, how does this URL looks like? It looks really bad. So it looks like http:// dot blah blah blah, some name, so number dot ap minus south minus one dot elb dot amazon.com. It will be like this. So is it good to give this kind of URL to the customers? No. So we should not give this kind of links to the customer, correct? So we need to map this to our own domain name, correct? Guys, so let's say, for example, all this, so my domain name is like boom.com. So boom.com, someone hits boom.com, then they should go to this nasty URL. I call it as nasty URL, guys. Okay. So this mapping should happen, right? This mapping should happen. So which is the service in AWS where you can do this kind of mapping or this kind of routes? If someone hit boom.com, it should route to my load balancer. Where do you do that? So for that, there is a service called Route 53. What is that? Route 53. It's called Route 53. So if someone has Route 53, then you can say Route 53 is a DNS service from AWS. It's a DNS service from AWS. So why we call it as 53 there? Because remember, DNS port number is 53. That's the reason why we have this port number. So what does the Route 53 contains? Route 53 contains records. So this mapping we do know. The DNS is all about records, correct? So these mappings we do, right? Boom.com to nasty URL. This is called a record. So Route 53 contains records. Route 53 contains records. Guys, if required, on top of it, you can set up auto scaling group. All these things you can set it up. Do you all understood what is Route 53? And also remember, which is the service will hit first? Whenever you hit boom.com, which is the service will get hit first? Route 53 itself. So Route 53 will hit first and then it will hit the load balancer. Okay? CT, is this clear? Everyone clear on the Route 53? Route 53 is simply, right? Route 53 is simply a DNS service from AWS, right, where you can create the records, pointing, mapping, records meaning point mappings. Okay. Next, we have something called VPC. We know this already. What is the full form of VPC? Virtual Private Cloud. These are all come under networking, guys. VPC. When I call VPC is like a virtual data center on cloud. Can we say this? It is like a virtual data center on cloud. Correct? Can we say this? So even though AWS is a public cloud, right? So remember we discussed, even though AWS is a public cloud, so we go and create the private clouds inside it. That is nothing but a virtual private cloud. So how many in one region, let's say for example, this is a region. Chitty, can tell me how many VPCs you can create in one region? Oh, we remember quite nicely, yeah? You can create how many VPCs? 5 VPCs. You can do with one VPC also, but maximum how many you can do? 5. Okay. No, did I say minimum? No, minimum. Minimum 1. VPC, 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 VPC. Okay. So you tell me, VPC is regional or global? VPC is regional. VPC is regional. So whenever guys, whenever we go to the AWS console and whenever we are going and launching the EC2 instance, definitely one VPC should be there, no? Can we launch the EC2 instance without VPC? No, not good. Either we need to go ahead and create a VPC, which is very difficult initially to learn. For that reason, AWS is providing something called default VPC. What is that providing? AWS is providing default VPC. Write down. So AWS provides a default VPC. So we will be using the default VPC until we learn. Once we learn it, then we'll create our own VPCs. For now, what we do, right? Yeah, default VPCs. So guys, one more thing. So these numbers purely depend. So sometimes AWS might change. So let's say, for example, let's see if someone is saying AWS maximum number of VPCs per region. It was 5, but now let's say you can increase it to 100 by requesting AWS. That's fine. Do you see this? Currently, VPC supports 5 IP address ranges, right? So maximum we can reach up to 100. There will be a default, right? Each supports region is how many? Okay. So if you raise a ticket with AWS saying that you are done with 5, right, and you need more, then create a ticket and maximum you can reach that. That's a soft limit. Five VPs meaning 5 different networks, correct? Okay. So do you remember that hypnotism diagram that I have given? So you have a first AWS. Inside this, what we have? Okay. What is the top level? The top level is AWS region VPC. Inside this availability zone, inside the availability zone, you have EC2. Correct? This is how we should be. Understood, guys? VPC is a big topic that we will be going deeper into the VPC when we go there. Okay. For now, just imagine there should be a default VPC. So all the EC2 instances that we should launch should go to that default VPC. Okay. Next one. This is your on-premises, and this is AWS. Okay. This is on-premises, and this is AWS. This on-premises is nothing but your company, no? How do you connect from your company to AWS? What do we have? How do you connect from your company to the AWS? How do you connect from you have a VPN, correct? So your company might have set up a VPN connection between your company and AWS. What is VPN? It's a virtual private network. It's a Virtual private network. Virtual private network. So, guys, from connecting from company to AWS, definitely we need to have internet, no? Definitely we need to have internet. This internet is a dedicated internet for you or it's a shared internet? It's a shared internet, correct? It's a shared internet. In that shared internet, you have your own private network. You will create your own private network from your company to AWS. So that's how the company, so people from your company will be connected to the AWS and they'll be working it. But there might be few companies where they say that I don't want to have a shared internet VPN concept. I need to have a dedicated connection. For that, AWS came up with a service called Direct Connect. What's that called? Direct Connect. So Direct Connect. So guys, this Direct Connect is like a lease line connection for you. Lease line connection from AWS. So there is no shared internet concept. So you directly, you can have AWS is providing a direct connect from your on-premises to AWS. You know how much you need to pay for this per month? Almost $16,000 for this. So big companies, if they need to have a direct connection from on-premises to AWS, so they will be going for this direct connect. Don't tell me, sir, you didn't give the practicals on direct connect. Okay. Is this clear, Chitty, till here, everyone? With the RAM. Good. So, guys, now very important. Everyone sit down properly. Get up. Sit down properly. Don't lie on a bed. That's very important. Okay. What are all these? Solar system planners. So these are all the regions, guys. So all the regions. So this is Mumbai, Tokyo, Sydney, US, Canada, and Ireland. Okay. We have these things, guys. Okay. So now I have my application set up in the Ireland, this Mumbai region. I have my application set up in this region, right? And then I have my application. I put my EC2 instance. I put my EC2 instance, and I have the application here. Okay. So guys, now I have the application in Mumbai. So anyone who is connecting in from Mumbai or from India, so they'll have a low latency or high latency. They'll have obviously the low latency. So if the people, those who are connecting from Tokyo, for them, from all these people, for all these people, they have the high latency, correct? Can you tell me how do we resolve this issue? What do you think? How do we make them low latency? Andres, I don't like that. I'm telling you, please. Please, it's my humble request. If you know the concept, hold on until I say. I need others to get their mind triggered. So, guys, tell me, what do we do? No, I'm not asking about the service names. I'm just asking what you guys do to have the to have the high latency from Tokyo, Sydney, other regions. What do you think? That's good. See, these are all the things that I need. Create duplicate setup on each location. Create a copy. Application to be kept at near location. This is what I need. That's the reason why I'm asking. So yes, you are rightly said, guys. So what you are saying is, sir, keep a copy of the application here in each and every region. This is what you are saying. That's good. But I don't have that much budget to launch my application in each and every region. What do we do in that case? Right? Your answer is correct, guys. So you need to keep the application. You're saying that keep the application in every region, and those people from that region, they'll connect to their application. That is good. But I don't want that process, or I don't have that much budget to set up EC2 infrastructure in each and every region. What do we do? For this thing, we have a concept called, there is a service in AWS called CloudFront. What is that right now? CloudFront. So we have a service name called CloudFront. So what you need to do is, in that CloudFront, you need to go and create a distribution. What you need to go and create a, what you need to go? You need to create a distribution. Create distribution. Indicate a distribution. What does the distribution contain? So go to the CloudFront and you need to create a distribution, right? What does it contain? Guys, AWS is providing something called edge locations. Every region will have their own edge locations. Every region will have their own edge locations. Write down that word, edge locations. These are all edge locations. Right? These are all edge locations. Edge location. Edge location. Edge location. So what does, guys, these edge locations are completely managed by AWS. What is that? Edge locations are completely managed by AWS. We don't need to do anything. So there is a, so there will be edge locations. So what we need to do is we need to use them. So if you ask the question, sir, where are the edge locations available? Guys, it is available throughout the locations, every region. Not in India, we have Mumbai and Hyderabad only, right? So Hyderabad, a couple of days back only we got, let's say Mumbai. So edge locations are not only in Mumbai. Edge locations will be in Mumbai, in Hyderabad, in Chennai, in Bangalore. So they keep that because anyone, let's say your infrastructure is in Mumbai. So you have the edge locations also in Bangalore. If you're connecting from your Bangalore, what will happen? These edge locations, what it does it do? It will cache your application. What does it do? It will cache it. Guys, it will cache it or cache, whatever you say. Every edge location, what does it do? It will cache it. It will cache your application. Right? It will cache your application. See, not only throughout the world, right? So let's say this is India. Okay. So this is different regions. Okay. So this is Mumbai here. Okay. We have the applications there. So edge locations are throughout the places in Delhi, in Bangalore, in Mumbai. So if you're sitting here, it no need to connect all the way to here. So what they do, you get connected to the edge locations. Edge locations will give the request back to you. Same way, they have their own edge locations. So So this edge locations will be in touch with your origin, and this edge location will give the response back. Understood, guys? Like this. Okay. Yes. Entire data will get cached. All entire data will get cached. Getting it, guys? Sorry. In this role. See, high latency. Okay. You call high latency. All your so okay. Now question for you. Okay. Now let's go one by one, guys. Everything will be clear. See, edge locations are completely managed by edge locations are completely managed by AWS. Guys, do we need to go? Is it possible for us to go and set up edge locations? Create edge locations? No, remember. So edge location is used for what purpose? Edge location is used for application caching, correct? It is used for application caches. It's for application caching. So now you are saying, okay, let me give an example. My so guys, my origin, can I call this Mumbai? This has origin. My original application is in Mumbai. I call it as origin. Now let's say, for example, in my application, I have something called puppy.jpg. Okay. So this puppy.jpg will be cached throughout the edge locations. Yes or no? Obviously, it will cache. Whatever the data you have it in your application, it will be cached. Now, for how long it will be cached, that is purely depend upon TTL. TTL meaning time to live. So while setting up this distribution, right? While setting up this distribution, you need to select what is the TTL value that you need the cache to be available. So let's say, for example, I put it as 12 hours, for example, guys. So this puppy.jpg will be available for 12 hours, correct? So now I went and changed immediately with apple.jpg. Can you tell me this apple.jpg will be available to the customer immediately? No, it will not be available. Correct? It will not be available because this puppy.jpg is cached for 12 hours. After 12 hours, it will be available. So now there might be some emergencies that you want to do it immediately. Yes, you can also do it immediately with the concept of invalidate cache. What do we do? Invalidate. So a cache can be invalidated. So invalidate meaning you no need to invalidate entire application data. You can say that, okay, for if you're an application is all about folders and data, no? You are so in the images you can put the particular file path. So only that image can invalidate the cache. Or if you want to invalidate the entire cache, yes, you can get rid of the entire cache and freshly it will pick it up from the origin. Okay. So remember, it will be cached. It will be cached based on TTL. It will be cached based on TTL. Okay. From which service do you configure these edge locations, guys? CloudFront. Fantastic. So we need to configure edge locations using CloudFront. So if you go to CloudFront service, what will happen? You need to go and create a distribution. What does the distribution contains, guys? It will ask, hey, while you're creating the distribution, it will ask, where is your origin? You need to select your origin. Guys, your origin is your application only, na? Like your load balancer, like your ELB. In S3 also we can set up websites, right? That is your origin. And then you need to select edge locations. Hey, you want to select entire world, or you want to select only USA, or only Middle East or Europe? You can select based on the continents you can select. Otherwise, you can select all. So, and your entire data will be cached throughout the edge locations. Sir, if we do some modification at app and get the response, how it will be here? That's what I said. So if you do the changes on the app and the data is changed, so that is depend upon the TTL. So if you want to invalidate the cache, invalidate and get the latest response. Otherwise, wait for how much time that you have mentioned the TTL value. Getting it, guys, everyone? So now, how does it get connected? Only the request data. So mostly, guys, whatever the data you have it in your application, everything will be cached. Okay. That contains, let's say you have some reports, the reports will get cached. You have some images, images will get cached. You open your website and all your images you're getting loaded, all those will be cached. If someone you're opening some reports, right, with the data fetching from database, that entire report will get cached. Everything will get cached. Okay. So now, right now, guys, how does, yes, it's applicable for entire data. Yes, if you are using the frequently accessed data, that will cache. If you are getting it fresh time, then it will go and hit it because it has to go to the database in the backend. Okay. So now, guys, here from application, from your Mumbai, it has to it has to cache to the edge locations, right? So how does it connect? Generally, to use internet. So do you think that AWS use internet connection to put all your data into the cache to the edge locations to this? It doesn't use your normal internet connection. No, it doesn't use it. You know what it uses? It uses its own content delivery network. It uses its own content delivery network. In shortcut, you call it as CDN. It uses its own network called CDN. CDN meaning content delivery network. Content delivery network. So using the CDN, the data will be transferred from your origin to your edge locations. So now the customers will be connecting to your actual origin. No, customers will be connecting to the edge location, and edge locations will be giving back the data to them. So now we have a question, sir. How does customer knows that he has to connect to the edge locations? That kind of configurations that we should do it in Route 53, guys. Let's say without edge location, how does it work? Boom.com. Boom.com directly hit to which one, guys? Or Route 53, correct? In Route 53, we'll have a record call. Boom.com should be routed to nasty URL, correct? ELB URL, correct? Guys, this is how we create a record in Route 53. So if had to hit, so if it if it has to hit to the edge locations, once you create a distribution, what will happen is the distribution, the CloudFront will also give the nasty URL. So now you should do that. Boom.com should go to Route 53. In this Route 53, boom.com meaning it should route to where? CloudFront nasty URL. Correct? Correct, guys? And anyways, CloudFront nasty URL, we have the origin there, which is going to the ELB. So guys, this is how you need to configure, right, in order to hit the edge locations. What tools? Here is on Route 53, you need to go and set it up. CloudFront, you need to go and set it up. There are no separate tools for this. So finally, I would say CloudFront has edge locations and edge locations are connected with CDN. Yes, you'll have a good performance, no, because it is getting cached. Caching is used for whenever you are caching it, obviously the performance will be increased. Everyone understood this edge locations, this CloudFront concept? Okay. Okay. Should I go to the next topic? Kitty? Okay. Good. So the next one here is, we call it as IAM, Identity and Access Management. Write down IAM, Identity and Access Management. So we all know that, guys, we all know that in order to work with AWS, we need to sign up to the AWS console, correct? Does everyone agree? We need to sign up to the AWS console, right? We need to sign up to the AWS console in order to work, correct? So now you are learning, right, by yourself with me. So that meaning you need to go and sign up your own with your email ID, correct? You need to sign up. You need to sign up to the AWS console with your own email. Everyone has to go and sign up, correct? Okay, now when you join your company, some company, whenever you join some company, there also you need to have your own personal account there. Guys, in your company also will use your own personal account? No. The company will be giving the account for you, correct? They will create for us. So the main account, guys, there are two types of accounts here. So generally in company, if you go like this, they'll have the multiple accounts or one company account. So there will be one company account, right? The main account. Inside that, they'll create users for you, correct? Make sense? Inside that, they'll create users for you in order to access their company account. So the main account is called root account. What is that called? The main account is called root account. So guys, whenever you join the company, they'll have the root account, correct? But as you are with me, you are setting up, you are signing up with your own account. That means you will also have your own root account. Correct. You will also have your own root account. Okay. So in your company, they'll have the root account. Inside the root account, they'll create users for you, correct? So those users, in which service where you can go and create users, in this IAM service, you can go and create the users. And that's why we call it as IAM users. IAM users. IAM users. So let's say, for example, I have created an IAM users called Avinash. I created Avinash, Veni, Srikant, and who is that? Come on, Shankar. Okay. Let's say, for example, I have created an IAM users like this. Okay. Call it as Sai. Okay. Now, guys, I created an IAM user like this. And I need to give the permissions for them, know what they will be doing in my account, in the root account. Yes. So let's say, for example, what kind of permission should we give to Avinash? Should we give access to EC2? So we can give access to EC2, meaning Avinash can go and have permissions only for EC2, correct? Yes. For Veni, what kind of permission should we give? You know the services now. Tell me. S3. For Srikanth, what kind of permission should we give? Tell me, you know, right? CloudFront. Okay, for Shankar, what kind of permission should we give? RDF. So for Sai, can I give admin permissions? Yes, I can give. Correct, guys. So I can give the permissions like this. Okay. Can I give multiple services also like this? Yes. So guys, what we can do is you can control the entire AWS using IAM by giving the proper permissions to the IAM user. Correct? So you can control the entire AWS using IAM by providing proper permissions to the IAM user. Make sense, guys? Getting it? So you can create the users like this and you can give the permissions for them. As I said, there are two types of users and accounts, correct? There are two types of users or accounts. What are those? We call it as, what are those? Tell me. Root user and IAM user, correct? Root user and IAM user. Who has full permissions? Root user has full permissions, correct? Root user full permissions. That is the super user. Okay. And IAM user has limited permissions, no? IAM user has limited permissions. IAM user has limited because Avinash has having only EC2 permissions, no, not all. So remember this. How do you identify? How do you identify? Remember, whenever you are logging in with email ID and password, remember that is your root account. Because when you're logging with the root account, it will ask your email ID and password, no? So IAM user. So here you have created a IAM user called Avinash, and you are logging in with username and password. Correct? If you're logging with username and password, consider that is an IAM user. So if you're logging with email ID and password, consider that is root user. That is purely depend. If I create avinash@gmail.com, that will become an IAM user for me. So generally, they'll create only with the names like this. But if you want to create emails also, you can create it. But generally, if you're logging with just simple username and password, you consider this IAM user. You're getting it, guys, everyone? So root, can we say root account is just like a parent account? So it's a parent account. Parent account is nothing but our root account. Right? So inside this, we go and create IAM users. IAM user 1, right? IAM user 2, IAM user 3, IAM user 4. Like this, you can create under that. So can I say simply as IAM meaning it's an access control on AWS resources? Can you say that simple? Simple. Okay, now, so whenever you're signing up to the console, guys, whenever you're signing up to the console, AWS will ask you for the credit card details. Now many of the people face got changed, huh? Right? Yes, guys, remember, whenever you're signing up for the root account, that is the main account, when you're signing up for the first time, it will ask for the credit card details. Don't worry, please provide your credit card details or debit card details. Any card details are fine. So he will deduct you 2 rupees. What? AWS will deduct you 2 rupees. Don't worry, guys, you don't get the bill. If you follow my instructions, you don't get the bill. So without console, you cannot do the practicals. So setting up this card is mandatory for you. Okay. So AWS will give us 1 year free tier. Okay. We will be using that 1 year free tier and then we'll be doing the practicals. But sugar patients, I say that those people are sugar patients where you go here and there, click that and this, do that and that without my permission, then you will get the bill. So if you follow me, you don't get the bill. Okay. So I'll be telling you what to do, what not to do. Okay. So the person who provides the card details, he or she, let's say, is the root user. Okay. The user who are using from that account, they are called IAM users. Correct. So those who are providing the credit card details, he will be the root user because he is the owner of it. And if someone is using from that account, those are IAM users. Understood, guys? Everyone getting it? Okay. Okay. Now question for you here. See, the company will have only one root account, correct? Company will have one root account. It's a company root account. Company. Okay. Now, okay, company will have only one root account. The thing is, they will have multiple departments, no? Guys, yes or no? They'll be having multiple departments. A company will be having multiple departments. Say one is DevOps department, some developer department, marketing department, or like this. So, okay, let me support people. Yes. So, DevOps, developer, support team, or call it as DevSecOps, security people. So you have these many big different departments. Is it possible to have one root account to control all these multiple different departments, guys, in general? It's very hard to handle it. So we don't know who are all the DevOps people, how much bill I'm getting it. So because everyone, it's very hard, right? So now we got a concept in AWS called organizations. What is that? Organizations. What does this organizations do is, guys, organizations handle to control multiple root accounts for better management. So, guys, DevOps people can have their own root account. Yes, everyone can have their own root account. Developer can have the root account. So they have their own root accounts, no issues. But eventually, and root accounts are controlled by the company main account. This is called management account. That is handled by management account. And these are all called member account. These are all called member account. So these all root accounts will be joining this organization, management account organization. So this management account will control all these root accounts. How you know? There is a concept called SCP. SCP is nothing but service control policies. Write down SCP. So can I, guys, root account generally have full access, but can I control this root account by giving only IAM permissions? Yes. Can I control this root account by giving only lambda permissions? Yes. Can I control this by giving full permissions? Yes. Can I control giving this full permissions, meaning admin permissions? Guys, yes, I can control this like this, even though it is root account. Using what? Using SCP, service control policies, you can control it. So basically, guys, I'm asking you to create one root account. You're going mad, but so this is basically for your companies. So organizations handles or control multiple root accounts for better management. So all the billings, gillings, everything will be doing by the management account only. So all these lower member account billings will be handled by management account only, guys. Getting it? So these organizations basically use for controlling multiple root accounts. Understood? Yeah, City, everyone. What is this SCS used for? Full form of SCS? Simple email service, which is used to send emails. And what is SNS used for? Simple notification service. Okay, guys. And then have you heard about queues? Developers, RabbitMQ, right? Right. So yeah, GMS, Active, yes, all these things, IBM MQs. So if at all you want to have that queues concept in AWS, there is a concept called SQS. SQS means simple queue service. It's completely managed by AWS. So just to remember these service names. There is a question, sir, one IAM can create another IAM account. Okay, now tell me here, guys, you tell me here, who are the persons can create IAM users out of this Avinash, Veni, Srikant, Shankar, Sai? Can you tell me who has permissions to create IAM users? Think and answer. So guys, you said Sai because he's an admin, but I have given permissions to Srikant also on IAM. So who are them? Srikant and Sai can go and create IAM users. Guys, whoever we have given the permissions, they can go and create it. One IAM user can also go and create another IAM user, provided he has the permissions. Who can create S3 buckets? Veni and Sai. Understood? It's purely depend upon what permissions that we have given. Okay, I'll stop it here. Any questions? If not, take the screenshot. Let me know once.